Congress be more deferential. Here, we have a Congress that claims they want to get to the bottom of this with the Clintons, but they show no interest in currently pressing Donald Trump on a cover-up exposed just this week of the very Epstein files that they demanded under law be released. One more point as we compare what's happening to what maybe could happen in a serious probe. Secretary Clinton made a very fair point, which is fact-checked true, about what is happening in the actual governmental resources and fight against sex trafficking. Whatever people think about Hillary Clinton, and there's been times politically where she's been seen as divisive. I mentioned she got a lot of votes in 2016. But as Secretary of State and in her work in public advocacy, she has long been a champion of women and girls. She has spoken out about the abuse of women and girls abroad, the methods of sex trafficking. She's not new to this, if you will. And I just want to read briefly that she notes in her statement today, the Trump administration gutted the Trafficking in Persons Office at the State Department, the agency she once ran, cutting more than 70% of the career civil and foreign service experts who work to prevent the trafficking of women and girls. There are some who might not have noticed that or might not care. There are others who watched the Elon Musk Doge escapade and said, yep, got to cut all these parts of government. Secretary Clinton reminding the committee today and the Trump administration there are actual serious proven ways to fight sex trafficking with the force and the power of the U.S. government if politicians are so interested. I'm joined now by veteran journalist Gretchen Carlson, co-founder of Lift Our Voices, and Gene Robinson, Pulitzer Prize-winning columnist, MS Now analyst. Gretchen, let's try to start with substance, although on a fight like this, we can also discuss the politics. Secretary Clinton's point that there are proven ways to do this, and they didn't just reform or trim that office. She says the Trump Republicans gutted it.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're putting all the attention trying to on Hillary Clinton today and not on Donald Trump. And it's having the reverse effect. The effect now is that why is Donald Trump not being deposed? I mean, that's the biggest question right now. He's mentioned third in line after Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell in the Epstein files, at least what we've seen so far. Now, tomorrow, is there relevance of having President Clinton there? Potentially. But today to have Hillary Clinton, who has been on the record as saying that she never even met Jeffrey Epstein. This was political theater to try to, I think, embarrass Hillary Clinton today. And, you know, she had no reason to be called. Where's Alex Acosta? I mean, where are all these lawyers and judges and border control agents and all these people in the Miami Herald article today that Epstein apparently manipulated over years and years? Where are they coming to testify with regard to all of this? There are a lot of missing parts. Hillary Clinton is not the answer to getting to the bottom of the Epstein files.
Gene, your thoughts tonight?
Well, all right, you know, just in the category of first ladies, okay, if you're gonna take depositions from first ladies, what about the first lady who was photographed multiple times with Jeffrey Epstein, who knows him? What about Melania Trump? You know, so you could reasonably, I suppose, call her, but of course the Republicans did not. This is a botched attempt, I think, at political theater, because it only makes the Republicans look even more furtive and manipulative and frightened of information that could come out that could damage Donald Trump. And that's what it makes them look like. And it was, I think it was in the end, a great big own goal on the part of Republicans. I don't think anybody is buying this, because this is not, as you said, it's not a partisan issue. It's just an issue that everybody wants transparency. And this doesn't get you any transparency. It gets you the opposite.
And does it, Gene, as you've covered the Clinton wars since the 90s, does it also at a macro level just look a little dated, like they wish they could rerun campaigns that are decades old?
Yeah, and that never works, but it absolutely does look dated. You know, we'll distract everybody by, you know, Clintons. We'll point at the Clintons and those awful Clintons, and that will get everybody riled up and make them forget about all those tens of thousands of mentions of Donald Trump in the Epstein files. And again, who thought this would work? Who thought this was a good idea? I can't imagine anybody. They're not getting very good advice.
Deposition room and spoke with reporters very briefly. She basically defended her actions and said, why not take these photos? I've not been reprimanded. And when I asked her what has stood out to her so far from this deposition of Hillary Clinton, she said, I admired her blue suit. All of this goes to say, Democrats have been calling for this deposition to be handled in public, for it to be in open press so that, reporters and others can be watching all of the questions and the answers that are going back and forth. And I'm told that the ranking member, Congressman Garcia, used that as an opportunity to, again, make that point. But we have no reason right now, Casey, to think that that's going to happen, that we're going to be allowed into the deposition room. So until then, we'll be coming to you from this parking lot.
Annie, I wanted to have you on today because of this analysis piece that you wrote. And the headline is this, quote, "For Hillary Clinton, an Epstein deposition is the latest stand by your man moment." And you write that she is once again under pressure to answer for the actions, relationships of her husband. And, we should also tell the audience, you're a congressional correspondent now, but of course you covered Hillary Clinton's campaign for president. You really understand kind of the things that she has been through in recent history on the world stage, on the political stage. How is today playing out in Chappaqua, New York? And I think I'm particularly interested in this comment we're reporting about how she's not there to talk about her feelings.
I thought that was such an interesting line that you and MJ both cited. First of all, I think that any Republican who thinks that a question is going to rattle her about Bill Clinton and women, Trump tried to do this to her at the debate, inviting, women who have accused Bill Clinton of various things to rattle her. This is not her first rodeo on the issue of Bill Clinton and women. And I think that any trained lawyer would know that a question about feelings is not one you're going to answer under oath. But yeah, my piece today was looking at how, the only reason we're here, the only reason Hillary Clinton is testifying before this committee is because Bill Clinton had a relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. And there's really it's very clear that there's no connection from Hillary to Jeffrey Epstein. She's never met him. It's a very thin strand to be pulling on. And so it just once again, she's being dragged in to answer questions that she would prefer not to be answering because of her husband. And in this case, this is a question about a sex offender, and we could see in Hillary's opening statement how offended she is that as someone who's worked for women's rights, that she's being questioned as someone who would have been involved or had information about a sex trafficker. But Bill Clinton's testimony tomorrow is unprecedented in that a former president has never been forced against his will to testify before Congress. Hillary Clinton's testimony is eyebrow raising in a different way, just because it's really not clear why she is here other than a connection to her husband.
Yeah, really interesting. Lulu Garcia-Navarro, this is, of course, she's not the only high-profile woman who potentially is in this situation. We've seen Melinda French Gates. She is not being questioned by the committee, but
Melania Trump, was someone who had actually, knew Jeffrey Epstein, and there are images of them together. So if you wanted to bring someone in that was sort of tangentially related, you could bring in Melania Trump. I think this opens the door to many people who were actually in the Epstein files, potentially. I do think in this case, as my colleague Annie Carney says, this isn't Hillary Clinton's first rodeo. She kind of ate Republicans for lunch during the Benghazi hearings, so I don't think this will go very well for them. I think it will be different for Bill Clinton.
I was going to say, Kate, that Melinda French Gates is also being asked to answer for crimes that her husband committed, functionally, right? And as Annie sort of capably laid out, right, this is another instance where Hillary Clinton has had to do this. But at the same time, Bill Clinton, you can see the pictures. There are legitimate questions to ask him. How does this cut for Democrats?
Well, I actually think that the real impact that this is having is it's actually just underscoring the hypocrisy with which Republicans are approaching this. I mean, absolutely, should Bill Clinton be forced to answer questions about his appearance in the Epstein files? I believe, yes, he should, absolutely. But I think if the standard is somebody who is tangentially related to somebody who is named in the files comes in, then okay, well, why aren't we hearing from Howard Lutnick, who has lied, who openly lied about having cut off ties with Epstein and then was subsequently found to have gone to the island in 2012. So if Republicans are serious about having a comprehensive investigation, then let's hear from the people who also need to be asked these questions on the Republican side of the aisle.
Yeah.
Seems fair, Scott.
I suspect Democrats will try to haul him in if they were to regain control of the committee. I suspect they might try to haul in other people as well.
I mean, Democrats went along with quote unquote hauling in the Clintons.
I mean, in the case of the Clintons, and look, I guess we'll all get to watch the tape. I guess that's part of the agreement pretty soon. But, Hillary Clinton, I mean, she probably had some views on this. I mean, Jeffrey Epstein visited the Clinton White House 17 times. Ghislaine Maxwell was at their daughter's wedding. I mean, her husband is in these files. I mean, she probably had some knowledge of some connections, at least, between him and Jeffrey Epstein. So I'll be interested to see how they ask those questions. The real meat of this will be tomorrow when they talk to Bill Clinton. And, he has some questions to answer here. So, again, I guess this will be most relevant when we get to all watch the tapes and see how.
What this really shows is that the fingerprints, the DNA on all of this aren't on her. They are not tied to her. They point to Donald. The line of questioning made that clear. We didn't get full transcripts, just leaks and partial reports. But from the reporting, from with Hillary said, and from people in the room who witnesses her testimony, it's obvious they couldn't make a solid connection between Jeff and Hillary, especially when it comes to his criminal activity. Yes, there are some loose links between Hillary and Ghislaine Maxwell. Maxwell attended a few Hillary-related events and was reportedly at Chelsea Clinton's wedding. But that's more about New York high society. You can criticize wealthy elites for socializing together, even when some of them are terrible people. But that's different from holding a serious hearing about major criminal files. With Bill, there may be more reason to ask questions since he flew on the plane and had some kind of relationship with Jeff. But with Hillary, it clearly looks like an attempt to distract from Trump. Because Trump's DNA is all over these files, his fingerprints are everywhere. Not only have there been redactions that appear to protect him and others, but in the past few days we have learned that some files were not just redacted. They were removed, whether they were deleted or destroyed, we don't know. But they were taken out of what was supposed to be a full release, reportedly because they mentioned Trump doing disturbing things. So Hillary is right. You can criticize her, attack her, like her or dislike her. That's your choice. But this isn't real about her. It's about Jeff Epstein and his closet alley.